Hello, this is the last of the videos, video 10, and here I actually show you some comments from a failed EPL's assignment that was written by an international student a couple of years ago. So my apologies for ending on a slightly negative tone, but I just want you to be fully aware as to what it could happen. So make sure you avoid such comments. And the product, the person the marker wrote, you have engaged in this task, organized your material and meant the length specification. So that's okay. But then it says, please look in detail at the referencing style and proofread carefully. So this is what I was telling you about before, that it is so important to make sure that the language is right, but also to make sure that you actually get things such as reference style right, which will affect your grade and is fairly easy to put right if you read the information carefully. And the excellent, we've got product showing careful editing and proofreading, which the person didn't do, and conforming fully to recommended conventions for under bibliography and referencing, which again the person did not do. Now, under investigation and educational issues, they were actually grouped together in here because those are the sections that relate to the actual content, to the issues that you have discussed. Normally, one would refer to investigation as everything that you would actually do before you start writing the assignment. So the actual data gathering and reading around the subject. And the educational issues is got to do more with how you have arranged the themes, how you have managed to critically analyze the topics and interpret observation and relate it to the readings, etc., etc. Now, this again was not managed in the assignment. So we have got the importance of theoretical framework and sophisticated links with research and professional literature. And something else that wasn't managed was the handling of issues and including a wider variety of perspectives. We've got that it's important to avoid contentious or unsupported claims and ideas. So this person actually wrote statements without backing them up. It's something that I covered in a previous video. And it's important that you show evidence of an ability to handle a range of perspectives. And without actually doing any reading, it is actually very difficult to actually get a range of perspectives, because you're going to have your own view. But in order to get somebody else's view, the reading is probably going to be one of the only ways in which to achieve this. And then this person only drew on one source in the discussion, one source only, and then made reference to a handout about Bloom's taxonomy, but didn't include it as an appendix. And it just didn't actually make reference appropriately to Bloom as a source. Then under learning, it says that the person does actually make reference to their own learning, but because everything else beforehand was very basic, because they didn't do any reading and they didn't actually expand their own understanding of the topic, they remained in the surface. This will obviously impact on how well they can reflect on the learning, on their own practice, because if they haven't actually expanded their understanding on a particular issue, then their extrapolation to targets for their own practice is going to be very basic, and this is what happens in this case. So as targets for improvement of future work, they're actually suggesting that this person needs to read a range of sources, and that this would actually allow them to become more sophisticated in the way they describe aspects, but also it will help them to avoid unsupported claims, which, as I said before, it can be a common problem with international students, because they're just not used to having to refer to literature, which is very much the English way. And to finish off, I just would like to reiterate the importance of actually becoming familiarized with this form. you need, the better you understand what the expectations are, the more likely you are to actually produce an assignment that achieves at least a pass. So very best of luck. If you have got any concerns or any questions, make sure that you speak to your marker or to your tutor. Best of luck.